Hello, everyone. I was gonna write a post out, but I just felt it better to do a video because there was just a lot to be said. Which is going to be a short video. Would have been a long blog style entry on the typing. I just had an interesting phone call. I'm not going to mention the name. I'm not going to mention the situation. I can mention the topic. If the person wants to share their story, it's their story to share. Just so you know, when people share stories with me as a pastor or a friend or whatever, counseling or whatever it is, that's between us and God. And if they want us to tell it, that's their secret to tell. Even if they tell me to tell it, I'll tell them to do it themselves. It's just how I roll, and it's really how it should be done. From the pastorate perspective, of course, you should do it that way. It's how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to be confidential. Anyway, my point in all this is I just want to say, to start off with, that it's okay to make a mistake. Because you made a mistake doesn't mean you are a mistake. We live in a society that's the cancel culture, there's so much stuff that goes on, and so much is made into being a human being nowadays in this society. And I get more in depth. For those of you who follow the ministry Powered by Christ Ministries on Facebook or on YouTube, I'm going to do a video, and I'll put the video there more in depth as to what's going, as to the message that I want to portray. But my point is just to let you know that it's not about, it really isn't about public opinion for so much. People pin their lives on public opinion, and so much so that they hide their mistakes, or they hide the things that they do, to the detriment of their growth. Because if you don't admit that you're wrong, you won't grow. And also to the detriment of their relationships. You hurt people. Hey, I was one of those people, to be honest with you. And I can talk about myself and nobody can get mad about me. Nowadays people tell me, oh, Gerald, you're too trusting. And, I do some self-evaluation, and I say, no, I don't think I'm too trusting. I'm just not. I'm willing to put stuff out there that I'm willing to lose. Basically, the things I give away are the things that I don't expect back. Even in the ministry, the things I give, the things I do are not things. I give away things that I don't expect back. If I get them back, I'm surprised. So you can call that trusting. You can call it whatever you want to, but it doesn't stop me from doing it. And that's the point I'm getting at. There's a lot of people that aren't going to like me, no matter what I do. I've helped people that don't like me, that you find a reason not to like, because not everybody can like you. And that's okay. That's all right, that you're not going to be liked by everybody. And we shouldn't try to be something we're not to be liked by everybody. I can't believe I'm saying this to even peers, my own peers, and of course people younger than me, and even people older than me. We live in a culture where people are so scared to be themselves. It is what it is. I mean, you should examine yourself, of course. If someone tells me that, I snore loud, maybe I should put a recorder before I argue with them about that I don't snore. Maybe I should check that out. I'm using it as an example. But, I mean, there's so many things that we fight about, we fight each other because we don't want to take blame for something. But in actuality, if it's yours, you take it. If like we say, if the shoe fits, wear it. If you fit a pair, get a pair, and if it fits and you don't like it, then change your foot. And that's how it ought to be. And I'll use this analogy, and I want you guys to kind of think about this in the comments, and check me out on Powered by Christ Ministries on YouTube later on if you want to post comments on the full video, or even on our Facebook page. I'm not fishing for that. I want this to get this out there. But I'll just use this as an example. Speeding. Let's talk about speeding. In every country that I can think of, there's a speed limit for cars. Now that I think we can safely say. So if 100 people were speeding, and you decided to speed and you got caught, would you get angry because the other 100 people didn't get caught or didn't get punished and you're getting punished? Would you feel that it's unfair or unjust? And let's put a pin in that one. What if it was a flip side? What if you were one of the 100 people that got away and there was one that didn't? Would you then feel that it's unjust that that one person is being punished where you should be punished? Are you going to have a news conference and march and all that and say this person's being unjustly, though they broke the law, they're being unjustly or unfairly persecuted? Well, I broke the law too. I should suffer along with that person. I should take the consequence of my action. It's funny how we flip things, how we like to take credit for things, you know, when it's, or we complain about things when it's convenient, when it benefits us. When the 99 is us, you know, it's different when it's somebody else. You know, and most people know my stance on social justice. I mean, I'm being a libertarian. I have a different look on things than Democrats, Republicans do. You know, and I'm not going to get into that. I'll get more haters, which I don't care. But the point I'm getting at is in this society, especially now, especially in this day and age, coronavirus or not, we still have this issue that we really love to point out when someone else is wrong, but we don't want to admit when we're wrong. And what we're missing out on, my friend, is growth. If you can never admit you're wrong, you'll never grow. And you can distance relationships, you can harm and strain relationships, you can hurt people, all because you don't want to admit that you're wrong, that you made a mistake, even just making a mistake. And I used to be one of those people, and I've hurt people because I didn't want to admit that I was wrong. I didn't gain anything from it, and I didn't grow. I never grow, and I still won't grow if I just can't. If my pride takes over and I can't say, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. And this is the issue that we face right now. Just because you make a mistake doesn't mean you are a mistake. If you want to grow, be real with it. You know, and maybe I'm not the most politically correct person, which is probably why a lot of people don't like me. And it's probably why a lot of people like me. Because I used to be brutally honest, but now I'm just honest with less brutality. I hope, and maybe you don't have to be that way, but at least be real with yourself. If you know, all of us have our faults, all of us have our that's part of being human. But man, we really, and I know I'm rambling about this same issue, but we really need to get this because people are literally going into depression, and people are dying, and people are losing hope, not just because of coronavirus, but because of something as simple as somebody just admitting when they're wrong or when they made a mistake. Just say I'm sorry, or just say, not necessarily I made a mistake, I'm wrong. When someone points that out to you, do you get upset? Do you start getting angry and defensive, and you say, well, you did this? Go back to the speeding thing. When you get pulled over and those 100 people went by, are you going to tell the cop, well, they were speeding too? Or are you going to say, yeah, you know what? I was speeding, you got me. I'll take my ticket because that's what the law says. Or are you going to be one of those people that speeds by and you got away with it and this other person got pulled over and you say, that was just his luck? You know, if you're wrong, you're wrong. And if you got consequences, you suffer the consequences. That's how life should be. And if it's good for one, it's good for you. And this is something that even people from my generation have an issue with following. And this message is not for a race, a creed, a color, a nationality, even a religious background. This message is true for everyone because it's just the truth. And until we can be real, if we keep feeding this cancel culture, if we keep feeding this beast, it'll grow bigger than we can control. And it probably already is bigger than what we can control. We have people faking it to make it. We have people being something that they're not, just to please people. Just not to stand out, or not to look bad, or not to show that I have weakness. I have to keep up the status quo, or street cred, or whatever you want to call it, my prestige level, or I have to put on my airs. I have to put on my appearances. So I want to make this is it. I'm gonna cancel it out, or I'm gonna end it right now. But I just want to say, because you make a mistake doesn't mean you are a mistake.